What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back with another video, and today we're going to be discussing the Leafs' 3-1 loss to the Calgary Flames. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I really didn't want to review this game. Why? Because the Leafs just did not play very good. The game was boring for quite a lot of the game. It got entertaining towards the end, but we all know how the game ended, of course, and it wasn't the result that the Leafs wanted. Of course, this was also the first game without Austin Matthews, as he is now out for a minimum of 4 weeks. I made a video on that if you want to check it out. It's the most recent video on the channel besides this one. And, of course, William Nylander still does not have a contract, so oh boy, the Leafs were in a little bit of trouble when it comes to their injury and contract situation with two of their biggest names on the team. So let's get right into it. Of course, I talk about the goalie stats first, and it was Mike Smith versus Frederik Andersen tonight. Mike Smith had 25 shots against, 1 goal against for 24 saves. Freddie Andersen had 33 shots against, 2 goals against, and 31 saves. Now, Smith didn't really have the greatest night because there wasn't a ton of high-scoring chances for the Leafs, but he got it done when he needed to, and Frederik Andersen played very well. The Leafs definitely left him out to dry, especially in the first period, where the game was completely boring and the Leafs were just playing god-awful hockey. So, I've got some things to go through as this goes on. As this video goes on, but the first and second period really were kind of uneventful. There were some, decent calls when it came to the referees, but if I'm going to talk about anything in the first and second period, it's first of all, like I mentioned, Frederik Andersen was pretty good. I have to give him credit. He kept the team in the game when he needed to. And the Leafs just looked lost out there. Of course, there were some line changes due to the fact that Austin Matthews is, of course, not in the lineup. And again, you're missing William Nylander still, but we've been dealing with that since Game 1. Austin Matthews is a game-changing type of player, but regardless of him being out, this Leafs team should still be pretty good without the fact that they don't have their best player. And it just looked like they were just making meaningless passes tonight. And also, one thing I want to mention too, Nazem Kadri game 500 and Morgan Rielly game 400. So congratulations to both of them. I wanted to make sure I said that because I probably would have forgot had I not just said it now. But anyways, like I was saying, the first and second period was just not good hockey. I mean, Calgary was not playing the best, but they were playing much better, as in they were getting more scoring chances. Their passes was better, and the Leafs just, I don't even know what to say. They looked like they weren't even trying out there. It's awful to see that the Leafs were so lost against a team like Calgary, who is supposed to be a very good team, but they haven't been living up to that full potential that they can get to. They've had some good performances from players like Lindholm, so that's good, and we'll get to him pretty soon, because the third period is when the scoring happened, because Sean Monahan scored his 5th of the season on the power play. There were some weak calls in this third period going to both sides, so it wasn't just a one-sided thing, but there were definitely some weak calls. The Monahan goal, Freddie made a nice first save, and then there was a rebound. The Leafs got to be able to clear that stuff out. Freddie maybe could have had better rebound control, but at the same time, it's a power play. He was making saves all night, and he just couldn't get to that one, and it was 1-0 Calgary. Then, what was it, like 52 seconds later or something like that, Elias Lindholm off a sweet feed. The assists were Gaudreau and Monahan. That line is very good. Elias Lindholm scored his 8th of the season. It was a very nice passing play, a quick shot from him, and it was 2 goals in less than a minute, both 5-hole on Freddie Andersen, but I mean, he had no chance pretty much on both of them. They were both really good plays, really good shots, 5-hole, so you can't really blame him. Then it got to like 4 minutes left in the period. There was a couple penalties for Calgary, a couple weird calls. The first one was a good call on Tkachuk, and then the second one was like an interference call or whatever on Giordano, I believe. And I was kind of like, okay, this is good. The Leafs got a 2-man advantage. Kadri scored his 3rd of the season, and like I said, Kadri's got to get going now. I said that in the previous video on the power play. 3 goals in 3 games. He's looking good. The assists on that were from Marner and Rielly, and I forgot to say the first Monahan goal was assisted by Lindholm and Giordano. I keep forgetting to say the assists, but yeah, Kadri from Marner and Rielly on the power play. I was happy that they were back into the game. And then we thought they tied the game when Zach Hyman started celebrating. I thought it was in the net too, but when I seen they popped it off the net, I was like, oh no. And everybody started celebrating, thought it was a tie game. I was like, the Leafs are going to get lucky. They don't deserve to win this game. Please just let them get a point, get to overtime, and hope that the 3-on-3, just the amount of talent that Toronto has can take over. And it just didn't work out because the puck actually didn't go in the net. It hit the side. And that kind of flattened the team. And then Frolik scored his 5th of the season on an empty net goal. Riley gave the puck away. And the thing I wanted to talk about was, in this game, yes, the Leafs were not very good. Calgary wasn't even that great. They just made, the right plays when they needed to, and they were actually pretty good in the first period. But the thing with the Leafs is they were making too many of these stretch passes. And I've seen some people getting on Gardner for making a couple stretch passes that, could have been received by the forwards. Tonight, the forwards were lost. I'm not going to blame this one on the defenseman. 2 goals against. Freddie was okay. There were quite a bit of shots, but there were no huge mistakes in my eyes that I seen that the defenseman made tonight for me to be like, oh, well, this sucked, whatever. Ron Hainsey did this. Zaitsev, Gardner, whatever. They were fine. Dermott not playing really kind of ticks me off, even though I know he's getting over an illness, but Mike Babcock to sit him when he's pretty much healthy. Apparently he should have been a good to go tonight, but they were like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, let's try to get Dermott back in that lineup because he needs to be there. But the forwards were not receiving the passes very well tonight. That's one thing I noticed, and that has to change. The Leafs are going to be without Matthews for a long time, and it's not looking like the Nylander situation is getting resolved anytime soon. And I seen a tweet, a really good tweet. I really wish I remembered the but just, this was not my original work. This wasn't my idea, my tweet, but it does make sense to the fact that I definitely agree with this. People are saying, oh, after a game like this, you can see the Leafs, we need more defensemen. Trade Nylander for a defenseman. Well, the counter argument to that is that in the last couple games, the Leafs haven't really scored a ton of goals. So, if anything, with the absence of Matthews, why would you trade more scoring for more defense? And of course, this is just going to be another argument, but let's just forget about all that crap and realize the Leafs lost 3-1 to the Flames and they've got to bounce back. So if you're new, make sure you subscribe. Love to have more hockey conversations with you. Join the squad. Let's get to 4,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for the support lately. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Click that notification bell. Peace.